All right, so I want to touch on the co-main event too. Raymond Muratalla from out in California, one of I can't really. His father was with him in the post fight. He's been with Robert Garcia's camp. Forgive me, audience, for not because I'm covering the fight ringside. I'm not watching the broadcast, so I didn't see who's in the corner. But he's basically a Robert Garcia fighter, is Muratalla, and he makes good on Robert Garcia always saying this guy was world championship level fighter. He wins his first world title, wins it pretty decisively against Zaur Abdullaev, whose only other loss was years ago to Devin Haney. I think you might have called that fight on DAZN when he broke Abdullaev's nose, or if not called it, you interviewed
Oh,
Devin that weekend in New York City. Um,
okay.
but he he beats Abdullaev to the punch, boxes well, beats him with his jab, good educated movement out to his left all night long, landed some nice uppercuts, worked the body a little bit. But Muratalla, as is usually the case with him, I'm left, and I think a lot of the audience too, when I read social media, is left wanting more. He's a fighter with speed and power and skills, but his temperament is he's a patient guy. He's a patient guy. Sometimes you feel a little too patient. You want him to impose himself more, put some combinations together, that kind of thing. Against Abdullaev, him just outboxing Abdullaev was enough. Beat him to the punch, clearly won the fight. I don't think this style that he won the title in is enough for the other for Shakur or for Keyshawn. Or he is a naturally bigger guy than Shakur and then Gervonta. Not against Keyshawn. They're both big lightweights who are going to be moving up from this division pretty soon, sooner than later. After the fight, him and his dad were talking more about Lomachenko. He has the interim title. He gets elevated to full champion if Lomachenko doesn't return. There's a lot of rumors about Lomachenko retiring once and for all. I think he beat Kambosos 1 year to the day that we're talking now. He turned down a shit ton of money for the Gervonta Davis fight. I know Loma is not necessarily a guy that really fights for the money, but I don't know if you walk away from a big pay-per-view fight, a unification, career high payday with Gervonta, are you really that enticed to come back and fight for your belt you already have against Muratalla? I'm not sure, but basically, Muratalla gets the job done. He's a player now at 135, but I don't know if that what he showed over the weekend is enough to beat the other champions in the division. So we'll see. We'll see going forward. Um,
We don't see Lomachenko in the ring again unless something, God forbid, cataclysmic happens in his life financially or something. I don't disagree with you for one bit. When you see a guy like Lomachenko at the age he's at the level of visibility he's at, having been out of the ring as long as he was, given an opportunity to fight Tank Davis, who I'm sure if at his top form he believes he would be, a challenge that he is the type of person to want to take on. This is a real challenge for him to turn that down and get engaged in it. First of all, he didn't turn it down flat. He got engaged. We thought we were going to get it, and then he was like, "Nah," you know what I mean? That's internal. That's in the spirit. That's like, I don't have the fire for this anymore. Like, fuck this training and all this shit talking, and I think he was a bit demoralized with the Haney loss, and yeah, I don't believe that his heart was ever in boxing for the sake of boxing, right? Like, I think it was a way to make money, something he had talent at, something he was excellent and able to
he's my
win
top.
doing, but it's his job.
Yeah.
It's not his passion, which is fine because he was so good at his job. He was beating guys whose passion was all at 10. This is the level of talent that you're looking at Lomachenko fighting out of his weight class for years. He shouldn't even been fighting that heavy anyway. And it's just like when it's enough, when you make enough money, if that's your reason for being in, and you're comfortable at home and you don't like the business of the sport anyway, it's real hard to get back in there. And I credit him. If he didn't have it in him, when he realized he didn't have it in him, to not just go through with it because he had already committed to the fight or because there's money on the table or because I probably could beat this guy, because that's when you go out there and fuck your legacy up, or even worse yet, get hurt. So if he ain't got it in him, I don't want to see him in the ring again. And I mean, he's done more than enough for his legacy and his family's fortune. Just chill. I'd actually like to hear his thoughts on boxing. I know he's not great with English or whatnot, but I'd accept a translator and give him an opportunity to kind of break fights down. I would love to hear Lomachenko breaking down fights.